How hard is it to make a living full time as a musician?
What I do full time right now is I do cover gigs, so I just like go play solo on a patio for like 3 hours, and so that makes like pays for rent and stuff like that. But like long term, you gotta find more money. So I feel like you have to just find different ways of income through music, if that makes sense.
What
Yeah.
about record labels and like deals and stuff like that? Is that still like something that could happen, or is basically non-existent?
I mean, I think they're still doing that for sure. I haven't really gotten anything like substantial enough to be like, yes, you know? So I think they can be beneficial if you know what you're getting into, because I think they can lock you down pretty easily from what I've heard, because I haven't had any experience with it. But you just gotta read into what you're signing and make sure they're not like, because once they give you money, you owe it to them pretty much, like depending on the deal, you know?
Yeah,
So,
that's the difficult part because I think everyone hates on the labels. But then think about it. If you had a label, how would you make money? How would you be able to put money into
yeah.
artists and then
Yeah.
make your money back and some on top of that?
It's like an investment at that point, you know what I'm saying? Like you're looking for investors essentially. Like if you think of it as a business, you know, like
Yeah.
a label is your investment. So either, I mean, it kind of goes with anything though. Like you just have to do good and you just have to work really hard, because it's like, it's not guaranteed you're going to make the money back in any type of business. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess you just got to hope the stars align and keep working as hard as you
Yeah.
can.
For sure, and that's
Yeah.
that's why you're sitting right here.
Yes.
We are taking a gamble on you because I I listened to those songs that you sent me, and like
Yeah.
I felt it. So it was like I was telling you, I was driving through a storm in Tennessee.
So crazy.
I play circles, and it was like this whole like I'm like in a movie, like it feels sad and like it had soul, and I
Yeah.
was like, like it could be. I'm like a dreamer. I'm always like
Yeah.
looking at the bright side of what could be. So like my brother and I starting the label side of the company with Noel, we are just going to be like what artists we like, and then
Yeah.
we're just gonna invest in them with the things that we can do.
Yeah.
So the hope is that you little miss blow up, and then that single becomes like worldwide,
Dude, yeah.
and that we can find ways to help you make more music and like
Dude,
get your art
yes.
out there, because you have like a special way, I think, of putting some sad hopeful energy into your music.
Yeah.
So I was curious about, like, in this case with Circles, like how did that song came about and what does it mean to you?
So I had a cool show happen, and then you know how we have a really high high, and then you just drop real low, like.
Yeah.
So the day after, kind of had those like withdrawal type feelings, because it's like a lot of a lot of adrenaline stuff like that, and then a couple days later, Brandon came over and into our apartment, which was new. So it was like our first time making music in the apartment. He started coming up with that beat, and I was like, "Ooh, this is cool." So I started writing to it, and it kind of flowed pretty easily. Like I'm kind of slow when it comes to writing. He says I'm not, but I think that I am. So I have to like sit with it by myself a little bit and like kind of go over it by myself before I present it to people. You know what I'm saying? So he left me in the room, and then I came up with it, and we recorded it, and he was like, "Dude, yeah, this is good." So it just kind of like, it just happened. Like, and I don't know, it took a low period of like just a day that was pretty emotional, you know what I'm saying, to get to that place. But I feel like a lot of people deal with those bad emotions and that depressive state, because it's kind of been something that I've dealt with. That's why I said circles, because it's like I've gone to therapy, I do stuff, but it's like no matter how hard you try, you still have to deal with it on and on. And it's like never ending, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, don't give up the fight, that's hopefully the people get that from the song, not to like give into the cycles, but like that you're not alone in those cycles and that you can get out of them.
Yeah. With music especially, I think, at least for me in my life, every song has kind of like an attachment to those cycles because I
Yeah.
go through the same, and like right now this last couple months have been really difficult, and like I think the rest of the year for me, I'm taking some time to be away from a lot of activity and only focus on like working on my script, working on the podcast, and like working on the
Yeah.
projects that really matter, and trying to like shut everything off.
Yeah.
And music plays wonderfully there for me. So like
Yeah.
I have I have like a hidden playlist of like sad songs.
You're like, this is my sad days, my happy day.
Yes, I do have that for sure.
Hey, that's what playlists are for,
Yeah.
honestly.
So, and sometimes it's like, well, you don't want to be in that vibe or you want to change
Yeah.
it. So I don't know. I'm curious to think like, how do you feel about that? Because maybe listen to some of your songs, it's like, oh, this is so sad.
Yeah.
Are you sad all the time?
Yeah.
Think about it. Like if I just go like to your
Yeah.
thing and listen to the album, it's like, oh, this is pretty heavy. Like this girl is going through some shit.
Yeah. I think music came to me like I'd always like done music as a kid and stuff, and like I started in church, and then I started writing songs, and I didn't really know what to write about, and so I've always kind of dealt with like the mental illness inside of like anxiety, depression from a very, very young age, which I think those things have allowed me to be super creative. You know, like they come with good and bad, you know, because your creative brain likes to create problems. So you know, so in that, I found that writing songs about what I was going through helped me release it and it helped me get it out. And like, I don't know, it just helped me come to terms with it and put it on paper, just like a good outlet, you know? So I'm not sad all the time. I'm definitely not. You can ask her. I'm not sad all the
Yeah.
time, but I think sometimes it's easier to write about for some reason. I don't know why, because writing happy songs is like, if it's a happy song, it might be a little cheesy, but it's like always trying to balance that line of like too much cheese, you know? So like the sad
Yeah.
songs are easier to me because it's like, oh, I can be like, you know, like sad and moody and
Yeah.
all that stuff. But
So
yeah.
what's in your sad playlist?
Oh my gosh. I don't know if I have a rain playlist
A
that,
rain playlist. Okay.
yes. And
It never
so
rains here in LA, so I think you're gonna be.
don't need it anymore. Hey, it rained when we got here though, which was kind of nice
Yeah.
because we haven't had a lot of rain in Texas. So I was like, oh, this is beautiful. But I have Bon Iver. You listen to Bon Iver at all?
Not anymore.
No? Why?
To be honest, like I listened to a lot of Bon Iver when I was going through like
Sad.
very sad times.
Yeah.
But it was a mix.
Yeah.
It was back in 2012, I came to America
Okay.
and like first winter in the US. I'm from Cuba, the Caribbean.
Yeah.
So it's like never cold, always the sun is out in the middle of December.
Forever summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I come to America and it was really happy. Like it was an amazing transition.
Yeah.
But at the same time, all my family's in Cuba. I feel somewhat out of place. And I started going to film school and it was difficult. Like I had to read all these big books, write all these papers in English, which is my second language.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to make money. I was living at someone's house.
Dude.
Like, there was a lot going on. And fall came and winter came, and I started listening to Bon Iver,
Yes.
and it's so good. I haven't listened to it in a long
Yeah.
time, but that's a good one.
Dude, yeah. I love whenever it rains, that's right what I put on because, yeah. I used to, going into what we were talking about earlier, whenever I was sad, I would listen to like worship music because I was really big into church and everything. Sadly, it doesn't do anything for me anymore. So
I'm with you.
I've moved on. I've, you know, I
I'm
guess
with
gone
you.
more folk when I get sad. I don't know. Like, but
Oh, that's very interesting.
yeah.
The first album I bought when I came to America was Hillsong United.
Okay. The one with
Yeah.
oceans on it?
That was before Oceans.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it was like the first, like, I think the album was called Alive, or I don't remember. It was like their very first, when they first came out and they had the concert and
Yeah.
everything. Because I was big, I grew up in the evangelical church in Cuba. And I was like deep, deep,
Me too.
like very deep.
Yeah.
And in a way, it made me who I am today, like for sure. That's where I started doing music videos, and that's where I learned how to do a lot of the things that I do. So
Yeah.
it was definitely like I learned how to make music videos
Yeah.
doing Christian music videos.
Yeah, it got me on stage. I'm like, it got me playing on stage every Sunday, like getting used to performing. And because I used to be so, I would get up there and be like, you know, but it gets you used to everything. And
Yeah.
I'm sure for you too, like you get to experience and you get to learn through that, which I think is cool. But yeah, you're not in it anymore.
No, I'm not a Christian anymore, and
Yeah.
I don't have a faith
Yeah.
like that anymore. So like that music, actually, like now I cannot even listen to it.
Me either.
Which is strange. It's like a
Yeah.
lot of that was what I grew up with.
That's how, yeah. It used to invoke a lot of emotion in me. I don't know if it's the same for you.
Yeah.
And now I don't feel anything. It's weird.
Oh, and also like working behind the scenes in the church and seeing how it's just,
Humans being humans.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's just a lot of manipulating emotions
Yeah.
on people.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing is that you can feel when people say, "Oh, I believe because I have felt it." It's like, I promise you, the same feelings and emotions you feel at a worship moment, if you go to a concert of like regular music
Yeah.
and you're in tune with that music and it's an artist that you love and they're doing a song that you know the lyrics, you will feel the same. Like you will cry,
Yeah.
you will feel emotional, you will feel like connected to like a bigger thing. Like,
That's why I think music is spiritual, but I think that's the heart of it too. I don't know. I think too, even though we were stuck in it, I think our intentions were good towards it. So it taught us, how to be a good person. It taught us how to connect to our spirituality and know that there is something out there. There's something that we can tap into that can help us.
what
But
do you think it is?
I don't know. I think I'll never know, honestly. I think God is, I don't know, bigger than any religion. And I think every religion probably is a little similar in a way. They kind of all go together in different ways. But they're down here, and I think God's up here. Like, just watching all of us, like, they'll figure it out. One day, hopefully, they'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it's just lightness and goodness and just the thing, because there's evil. Evil is very prevalent. Evil is very loud. But light is more faint. But do you agree with that? I don't know if that makes sense.
The light is more faint.
Like
In
how
what
how
way?
loud you can hear evil sometimes is like you can deal with like temptation, or you can deal with addiction, you can deal with, what I'm saying, like evil can be very, very loud, and light sometimes you have to search for it, if that makes sense.
I think the reality is, and I'm gonna get all like scientific and shit right now.
Yeah.
When you think about it, everything that is light and good is gonna do good to you, so you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
But anything that is evil, you have to pay attention to that twice as much or 5 times as much
Yeah.
because it could fuck you up.
Yeah.
So I think it's just our brains, the way that we perceive the world. We perceive evil, bad, wrong threats
Yeah.
way more loud and bright.
I think society tries to put that in your face more too,
I think we're all doing it
Yeah.
because if you don't, and that thing, think about it. If something good happens to you, are you gonna be okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, oh yeah. If something bad happens,
Oh no.
then you're
Yeah.
fucked.
Yeah.
So you have to be more aware and always like, so if
Yeah.
you see something that is like a threat, you're gonna like say, hey, red alert, red
Yeah.
alert.
The alarms go off.
Yes.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So
actually.
we all do it at the same time, and then when you take that into scale.
Yeah.
But if all the time we're saying like, oh, the sun came out today, it's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Like it doesn't.
I think it's great. It's probably tied to our emotional response and adrenaline at the same time, because I feel like negative things probably can cause more of a, like you said, a threat, so it can be like more adrenaline. And so, yeah, all your sirens are just going crazy.
Yeah.
But good stuff can feel like that too, I think.
In what way?
Like when something really, really good happens, you get that like that butterfly feeling and like the euphoria, like when I got engaged to, like it became movie land, and like it was crazy. It was like the highest of the highs.
But how is that bad?
Huh?
How is that bad?
No, it's not. That's what I'm saying. That's where like that's an instance of where good is loud,
I see.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now that you were talking about evil stuff and going back to music, how do you feel about like very heavy, dark rock? Like who's in your dark playlist?
Oh gosh. Let me think. When I was younger, I went through a screamo phase. So I would listen to and it was more like Christian screamo, like Under Oath or stuff like that.
I
Like,
love Under
like,
Oath.
like Red Jumpsuit Apparatus, like stuff
Yes.
like more of those type things. So I would probably put them, I don't listen to them as much anymore,
Yeah.
but I would put that on my category. Now
Under
I like,
Oath was like
yeah.
hard.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I could not let people at church know that I was listening to that.
You're like, they can't know. They can't know.
No, they cannot know. It's like sounds evil.
Dude, I love to listen to Rage Against the Machine. I think they're like, I don't know if they're like super dark, but they're heavy, if that makes sense. And they talk about real shit, which I think is really cool.
Yeah.
But they're like more on my heavy side. Like I go to the gym, I put on Rage, and I'm like, yeah, just pumping it out just to Rage.
Sick. For me, Slipknot.
Slipknot, dang. I've never really dove into their stuff because their look always scared me as a kid because I was big into church and everything. So I was like,
Yeah.
scary. And so now I'm an adult and I still have not, you know, taken the deep dive yet.
I remember we were one of my best friends, Damien. We all grew up together, so we used to love Slipknot, but we were in church.
Yeah.
So we were like 16, 17, and we used to do all the media for this big church in Cuba.
Okay.
And we used to like study all the music videos. We didn't have internet or YouTube, so we had to get music videos, and we had a library. So we had like on our hard drives, we would take music videos from people on little flash
So
drives here
cool.
and there, and like we had a library, and we would study everything.
Dude.
So like Slipknot had some good cinematic, like good music videos.
Wow.
And I remember my favorite was this one where they're just like inside a house. I don't remember the name of the song, but they're inside a house, and outside is a bunch of people just like waiting and breathing.
Oh,
And then they start playing the song, and then there was one part that they just break, and then all the people from outside
dude.
start running like crazy.
oh, that's
And all these
crazy.
people look like fucking maniacs.
Dude.
And that music video is so powerful. They get inside the house, and it's a little house, and they're playing with their mask, and they're screaming at all the people, and everyone is like,
dude.
ah.
Send me that because I want to see that. I have
wanna-
not seen that.
It's a sick music video, so
Dude.
cool. And we
Just
would,
chaos.
yeah. And then there's one part that they stop inside the house, and everyone goes quiet again.
Dude.
And then the guy is doing this to them,
Okay, that's
and then they
crazy.
go crazy again,
Dude.
and they destroyed that house, and they destroyed everything. It was,
Burned it. Just
yeah, it was so cool. They're
Dude.
evil, I think.
like they're evil, but it still hits sometimes.
Yeah, but so good, especially for the gym and things like that.
Yeah.
Like Slipknot, 100%.
Oh yeah.
My vibe.
Oh yeah.
And then I switched to reggaeton.
Really?
Yeah, I'm crazy with my music.
Range. We got range.
Yeah. What's the craziest thing that you like to listen to that nobody knows?
That nobody knows. I used to be really big into EDM, but
Okay.
yeah, like the super heavy, like grimy, like rhythm type stuff, just like the headbang type. So that's probably, I don't listen
That's
to it as
right up
much
my alley,
anymore,
too.
but I think it's the energy and the intensity that I like about it. But yeah.
And then you switch to Bon Iver.
And then I switched to reggae, and then I switched to, I switched to pop. I don't know. I love like almost all music.
I feel the same. I think music is like food.
That all serves a purpose at some point.
Yeah, some days you want pizza, some days you want a steak.
Yeah.
It's all like free flowing, and everyone is always talking about how bad music is right now. I completely disagree. I think there's the most music ever, and there's everything for every taste, every genre, whatever you want. Like, what's your take on that? How do you feel about music and kids, TikTok, all of that jazz?
Oh, I don't know. That's a loaded question. I think I'm not a parent, so I don't know. I don't really have the best take on it, but I know if I was, I think I would be afraid of TikTok because I don't think kids should have access to everything. I feel like that's kind of I mean, I know there's a real world out there and there's bad and good and everything, but there's some things that kids don't need to see until they're older. You know what I'm saying? Like maintaining your innocence and like so they're not kids be like, Mom, what's this? You know what I'm saying? Because it fucks with you. Like when you see stuff that's inappropriate and like not good as a kid, it changes your mental and how you see the world. And I don't know. I think preserving that like innocent part is good. And I think some of the music on the radio is porn. And I'm like, I don't know how. I sound like such a grandma when I talk about it, but I'm like, I don't know how that can be on the radio just for like kids to be like, you know what I'm saying? It sounds crazy, but I don't know. I mean, I guess everything is kind of up to the parents. So it's like whatever you're cool with your kid listening to, let them. But if you're not cool, don't turn on the radio. Like keep them off the radio, keep them off TikTok. I don't have kids, so I'm like, for me, I think it's a lot. But because there's some stuff I don't want to see, and I'm just stumbling upon it and scrolling, and I'm like, whoa, this is like I shouldn't have seen this, you know? But then that comes to me. I shouldn't be on the phone all the time. So it's on me at that point
that's your own
too.
fault.
What do you think though?
Like I said, I think there's a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
If you are complaining and whining about this song and that song,
Yeah.
just listen to something else, bro. Like you don't
Yeah.
have to listen to just that. Don't pay
Yeah.
attention to the thing that you don't like. Just pay attention to the artists that you like.
There are a lot of underground artists, though. I think just with like this whole generation of like you can make music from your house. You can, you know, you don't have to go to a studio, pay a ton of money. If you just learn how to do it, you can do it because we have the tools now. There are a lot of underground artists that are really, really good too, and I think sometimes people just don't like who's mainstream. But if you don't like it, don't listen to it.
I like mainstream.
Yeah.
For me, it's the opposite. I almost don't. I don't know. I don't listen to a lot of weird artists.
Really?
Or like not weird. They're not
Obscure.
weird.
Obscure.
Obscure.
Yeah.
That's the word that I always use. I have some of
I'm
my.
here for the weird, so I'm like I'm the
Yeah.
opposite. I like to
No.
find different stuff.
No, I mean, if you send me a song and it's good, then
Yeah.
good. But I'm not going to go and intentionally listen to people who are obscure and
Yeah.
are not well known.
Yeah.
Because I want to know what's popping. I want to know what's like
Yeah.
hot. Now, I remember a friend of mine, a really big time producer from Cuba, told me that a lot of the songs, even if they're bad, it doesn't really matter. The reason they become popular is because they have the connect, so they just play it so many times in the radio that eventually your brain cannot escape the rhythm and the way the songs are
All
made.
psychological.
It's all psychological.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, when you get a song stuck in your head and you cannot get it out?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. So have you ever had this happen to you? Your favorite artist drops a new album. You listen to it, you're listening to a couple songs, and you're like, this song sucks.
Yeah.
Skip. And then you listen to a few other ones, and then you listen to it again, and then you're like, this song sucks. And you skip it. But then if you listen to it like a couple more times,
You stop skipping it.
eventually you stop skipping it and you start liking it because it's like the familiarity of it all tricks you. Does that happen to you?
That does, yeah. I feel like there's certain albums that I'll like first time listening through, I'm like, well that's different. And then the more I keep listening, I'm like, oh, okay. It starts to like piece together. It's weird how our brains work.
Weird.
It's crazy. But yeah, I agree for sure.
So we need to find a way to do that.
Yeah. What's the science? Anybody got the formula?
Yes. I was watching this like documentary the other day and I sent it to my brother. This guy was talking about how like all of your major artists, they're all using bots, and everything that you think, like all the views, all the streams on Spotify, all of that is all fake. Like all fake. All the major artists is all fake.
Yeah.
But you see the numbers and it makes you think that they're real, so then it makes you want to listen to it because you're like psychologically you're like, oh well, everyone is listening to this, so you're rising in the charts. And I was like, we are fucked.
Yeah.
Like if this is happening, and then they were
Yeah.
doing a connection to Ticketmaster and Live Nation and all those companies and how they use bots to auto buy the concert
And resell
tickets
them for
and resell
crazy.
them from the own like concert company.
Yeah.
Not even like scalpers, like real, like the same company will use the bots to sell out a show and then resell it on other like sites.
Yeah.
But it's the same company.
That's crazy. It's like hacker mentality almost.
Yes.
Like,
And the guy
Man.
was explaining, this was like a rapper. Like I need to find that video and send it to you.
yeah.
It was like half of me is like, oh, we're fucked, and the other half is like, okay, I need to learn how to do this.
Yeah. You're like, I need to figure this out.
Yeah, because I mean, if that's the game, you
Yeah.
have to do it, and I need to find a way to win.
I see stuff too, because I haven't been doing music like the artist part super long, like the business side and everything. And I know it's been changing a lot. Like that's just what I've heard. It's like, it's not the same music industry 5 years ago. It's not the same music industry. So I think we're always changing and we're flowing with technology, and I think we're rapidly, like technology is rapidly changing right now too, just with AI and everything. So yeah, we'll see what the next phase is with all the AI and everything.
Yeah. What have you seen there? I only listen to like the Drake songs and all that.
Yeah, you can use people's voices now, which is crazy. Like if you give them the royalties from using their voice, but you can have their voice say and sing whatever you want. So you can just type, I guess, give it the lyric. I don't know how they do it, but you can give it the lyrics and it'll just sing it, which is crazy because, you know, Grimes Yeah, she, I guess, was the first person to do it. So she's like, if you use the voice, you just have to give her a percentage of the song or whatever.
Would
Which
you
is
do that
insane.
for you?
I don't know. I don't know. I haven't really thought about it too deep. I'm like, there's two sides of me always that like yes, no, like I can see both sides of all of it. But I mean, hey, it's tough making money right now. So
But I don't know if that is gonna make people enough
that's
money.
true. Because
You
it's
already
like,
don't make any money with
no,
streams or
that's the
anything like
thing.
that.
Yeah.
How much do you know, like exactly how much money people make on Spotify with the streams? Is
It's like a
that
fraction of a cent per certain amount. It's nothing. It's like not much.
so for you to make like, let's make the math easy. For you to make like 100K in a year, how many millions or billions or whatever
I
streams?
actually don't know. I have not crossed that road, so I have no clue. I need to look into it though, but
Yeah.
it would have to be a ton. That's all I can think of. I have no clue. I don't know. I'd have to Google it. Math is not my thing, so I'm
No,
like,
me neither. I was trying to put the math on you to see if you could do it.
whoa.
Yeah. With views, I think with the videos, that's what we're going more of the video routes.
Okay.
With our label and our concept. It's also like what we want to do is not tie up an artist
Yeah.
with like a full project or anything like that. It's just like one song, and then we do the video and like we help you, and then you have the song, and
Yeah.
that's kind of the approach that we're going. Because on video, the ads pay more, but it's not crazy money.
Yeah.
I think for music, for a music video, the CPM is between like $1 and $3
Okay.
per 1,000 views.
Okay.
So if you get 1,000 views, you might get $1. So
Hey, that's
need
that's
to
one more
get-
dollar.
yeah, but we need to get a shit ton of views to be able to like make our money back. But hopefully, like the goal is music. The beauty of music is that you can listen to it over and over.
Yeah.
Movies don't have the same. Like I think movies age pretty rapidly. Movies from like 10 years ago, you probably look at them now and you're like, what the heck? Like this is ugly.
We love the older movies.
You do love the
yeah,
older
like
movies?
early 2000s, 90s. I don't know. I like how it looks more because I think
Really?
yeah, the camera style.
Yeah. What's
Like-
your favorite movie?
Favorite? I actually don't have one right now. It
What's your
used
like top 5?
top 5. Okay.
This is a very important question.
This is a lot. I can't even think. Can give me yours first because I need to.
The
sit.
Matrix.
The Matrix. Okay.
Yeah, I think that one is way up there.
Yeah.
From all of movies, Schindler's List
Okay.
from Spielberg is like
Yeah.
one movie that really moved me and made me want to be a filmmaker.
Yeah.
And Saving Private Ryan is the
Okay.
other one that I really, really like.
Yeah. I haven't seen. I don't think I've seen Saving Private Ryan yet.
No way, get out of here. What are you talking about?
I know. I'm gonna have to go watch it. I'm
It's
like,
a really good movie.
really?
Yeah.
I feel like I. There are serious movies that I like, but I'm like off the top of my head. I'm like School of Rock. As a kid, made me
What?
want to do music. Like Jack Black. I love Jack Black. He's funny. I love the whole thing. As a kid too, I was like very, very Christian. So like, did you see Soul Surfer?
Yeah.
Yes, I used to love that movie. Now as an adult, I'm like, okay, the acting, whatever. Like,
Do not put Soul Surfer as your top movies. Avery,
it used to be my
no.
number one, and that might
No.
cancel me, but it used to be my number one. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know.
We need to pray for you.
Like, you need to see some better movies, honestly.
Yeah, Soul Surfer is not a good movie.
I see that now, but I was obsessed with, I wanted to be a surfer as a kid, like I love the beach. I grew up in Texas, so I saw the movie, I was like, wow, this is gorgeous, this is
Yes.
beautiful.
I wanted to be a surfer and a skater.
Have you seen Lords of Dogtown?
Yeah.
That's probably one of my top 2. I love that one.
That's
That
a
one's good.
But that's a good movie.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
Yes, I got 1 out of 3. 1 out of 3.
Christian movies, hands down, one of the. It's a really amazing movie.
Okay.
Passion of the Christ.
Okay, yeah.
Come on. Like that movie is
Heavy. I don't know if I've even seen it all the way through yet because my parents, they said they saw it in the theater and like by the end everybody was like silent. Like everyone just walked out because it was so heavy and they like had to clear their head after because it was just intense.
It was really heavy.
Yeah.
I saw it. I think I was like a teenager. Like I was in my teens.
Dude.
And I saw it in our little apartment upstairs of my grandma where we used to live. And I saw it on a laptop. And I was just, I had like an experience. I was like crying, it was like a really heavy film, and it's really well made. Like the
Yeah.
way they did everything, like it makes you like. But in that moment, I had a different belief system, so that for me was like, this is
Yeah.
like the core of everything that you believe, you know.
Yeah.
So then the movie had a
It was
way
heightened.
bigger
Yeah.
meaning, yeah, for sure. And the funny thing is with the Matrix, I have kind of the same relationship where when I was Christian and I used to watch the Matrix, the read that I got from the movie was very Christian,
Yeah.
a hundred
Because it was through the
percent.
lens you were looking at it through.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's like the one Jesus Christ is the one. It was like
Yeah.
the Messiah story, and then you are also the one because you're meant to be with him. It's like all
Yeah.
this.
Now it's different for you though?
Now it's completely different. Now it's like the opposite. It's almost like when you think about it, the matrix for people can be religion, society, capitalism, communism, whatever ism you are surrounded by.
Yeah.
And then breaking out of the matrix is you taking control from yourself
Yeah.
in that situation. So it destroys everything else and it puts you into like your own path of you create your reality, you create what you want.
I resonate with that way more now for sure.
Yes,
Dude,
yes.
yeah.
But like that's the power of movies. And I think movies and music, like to me, it's like I live my life like with a soundtrack all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. I cannot stop. I listen to music nonstop and I like all kinds of music.
I think it's cool that everybody can interpret something like the same thing so different. And I think that there's beauty in that because it's like even when they're making it, they could have intended it a certain way, but somebody takes it completely different and kind of gives it its own like life, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Which I think is cool about art because it's up for interpretation, which causes trouble, but also I think that's what we're supposed to do, right? We're supposed to like make people question stuff and be like,
Yeah.
what is this? You know,
Yeah.
like I've never thought this way. But I think people also they project onto art and songs, which I do too. Like we make it about ourselves and it's not us. You know, like we listen to a song that's like, oh, like that's so me. And it's like, yeah, because we're all connected. So we're all going through these experiences and people are capturing them and we're just interpreting it. And it's crazy because it's just, I don't know. Like you could just even seeing that movie in particular and having so different route, like in just how many years, like 10 years.
Less.
It's insane because I think like there's certain movies that age well like that and then some that don't, you know? So it's like the interpretation kind of goes away, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Now with your songs and having like different interpretations and all that, you have a song that says something like I love her, but Jesus loves me. And like
Yeah.
in your case, you're in love with a woman. That's not like in the Bible. That would be like
Yeah.
terrible. Like being
Yeah.
gay is something that for people that don't. I mean, everybody knows, but in Christian religion, that is completely wrong.
Yeah.
So I was very interested in asking you about that because then your song is almost like love is love and like so tell me about that and what was your experience making music that touches on that and how are people receiving that?
So that song's like my little baby. She came to me a couple years ago and I just had it really heavy on my heart because I grew up in the Bible Belt in Texas where, you know, a lot of people are Christian, a lot of people don't really like the gay stuff. And personally, I haven't really had anything too severe happen to me at all. I mean, you see the headlines, you see things like there's kids that get kicked out of their homes, their parents disown them because they're gay because they believe in this book that is telling them how to love. And their form of love is distance and shunning. And I think that's fucked up. I think that's wrong. And I think that's evil. That's like pure evil because I think connectedness is good. And I think connect is what we need, what everybody needs. And I think division is evil. And division keeps us away from each other when we need each other the most. And so it wells, you can even see right now, it wells up emotion in me because there are so many kids that just get thrown out because of who they love. And it's like, you raised this whole kid, like God is telling you to get rid of them because they like who they like shouldn't even concern you. Like you're not gonna be in the bed with them, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's weird, it's a very weird process even getting out of it. I'm like, who I love, you shouldn't give a fuck about who I love. You know what I'm saying? Love yours and I'll love mine. And we can all coexist and love each other. And I just think that Jesus would not be okay with the if we want to go Christian, if you're a Christian watching this, the Pharisee mindset of like, this is law, this is this. And it's like, no, dude, you already got that wrong. Why do we keep continuing to get this wrong? Because I think judgment, God hates judgment. God hates, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. I just have such a heart for people, and I just want to spread love. And because when I was figuring out my music journey, my mental health, like you heard the album Paradise, how it goes from like light to dark, and it talks about depression and stuff. I think music heals, and I think music connects us, and it helped me not feel alone when I was in some of the darkest places. And I hope that I can do the same thing through these songs as well, because anything is a step forward if we keep talking about it. That's the thing too. Like even being in Texas, it's like the perfect place to like scream that shit, because there's a lot of people who still like, even we feel uncomfortable sometimes. Like we have to like make sure where we're at is cool, chill, you know what I'm saying? Just even showing PDA and stuff like that.
Yeah. Did you have problems with your family, like accepting how you wanted to live?
My immediate family, they're amazing. My parents are amazing. My little sister's amazing. They like, I think at first we all it was kind of a culture shift for us, and we've grown and our frequencies have all like risen together, which is amazing. So we're kind of all in the same boat now. But at first, yeah, there was like the Bible talk and the Bible says this, and kind of the inner struggle because you've learned this your whole life. And then now it's like, well, your own kid is, and they're still the same person they were before they came out to you. So it's, you know what I'm saying? So they've been great, and we've grown together, and like they completely love my fiance, but I do have like very religious outer family, grandparents, like all that stuff. So kind of, you know, you just kind of push it off. You don't talk about it, and they're pretty mild, so they're like haven't been in my face about it or anything. Yeah. But yeah, mine is more of, it just causes distance, and it causes a lack of real relationship with people in my family, which is kind of sad. But hey, there are people that have it way worse, and that's why I wrote the song, because yeah, I can handle that. I can handle whatever the fuck, but like, I don't know. Even personally, like, I just want to be there for people, like, you know, so.
How did you find out or like start feeling that way, and how did you dealt with, you know, that this is what says on the Bible or whatever, and like,
yeah.
did you, because for me, I didn't have that switch.
Yeah.
My switch was more about what I believed, and I had to process for about a year. Like I grew up my whole life thinking of the Bible, Christ, all of that, and then I'm like, this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But it's still like the thing that I grew up and that I believed for so long. So like I almost felt without meaning or purpose, or kind of lost for a little bit.
Everything feels like fake because you thought your truth has been like exploded, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for you, it's even more difficult. I don't know if what happened to you is like, well, I feel this way, I'm attracted to this type of people, and is that questioning your faith, or did you had a change of faith and then you realized that you were attracted to women?
I think I was still in Bible college when I came out. So I was still in the heat of it. Even being there before, because I had always had thoughts as a kid and like growing up, but I would just push them out because I was like, this is bad, this is bad. Mm-hmm. But then it got to the point where the thoughts got super loud and I had to do something about it, or else, you know that thing where you like, you have to figure out if this is for you, or in different ways, you know? Mm-hmm. So I tried it, and I like dated my first girl, and I was like, okay, this is what a relationship is supposed to feel like. This is what the emotion is supposed to feel like, you know?
Did you ever date guys?
Yeah, I dated guys all the way through high school. So, and I was just always like, you know, like,
really?
Yeah, it was like, I would like them, but I would be stressed and like going to hang out.
Stressed in what way?
I don't know. It was just once I got past a friendship level, it felt uncomfortable to me. Like, and there was some with like, I tried and like, I would date guys for a little bit, but that's because I thought I had to, you know? Mm-hmm. But
you were not you weren't attracted to them?
I mean, yeah, looks wise, I'm like, I could tell if guy's cute, like, you know, but don't touch me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't, stay away. But yeah, I don't know. I think people are beautiful, so, but I don't, it's the emotional thing that was different for me that I never, and the physical aspect of it that I was like, you know? So when I figured that out, I was in Bible college, and I had already been hurt by the church. Like I worked at a church in high school and stuff, and they were just really shitty, mega church, you know, just, it's a business. It's kind of a culty thing. So when you're out, you're out. And yeah, you kind of can fill that in. But I was in Bible college, and my mom was like, all right, let's get you out of here, because we don't want to have to go through any more hurt and stuff like that. And so I think being out kind of led me to the shift of religion versus spirituality, the little, the little dance that you do. And it kind of exploded my world for me because it is like, how can this thing that I believe in be so not okay with me, And it's like, I can do everything else right, but this is the thing y'all are gonna like hold me like to the fire over, and shun people like me out. It just, I got to a certain point as an adult, even now, I don't know. People are like, are you Christian? Are you whatever? I'm like, you asked me earlier, I'm like, yes and no, because I think I believe in God, and I think religions here, there's so many religions, and they work for people. They do good. They help the community. They keep you in line. But there's a very ugly side as well that I think does a lot of damage to people, and especially mentally. It fucked with me a lot. So I think religion sits here, God sits here. God's watching all of us like, come on, man, let's just love people. Let's just have a good time. Let's just enjoy life on earth while you're here. Like, be kind to people, show love, and that's all you can do. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Just stay on track. Try to do your best by yourself and by people, and I think you're good. Like, stay in alignment. And it's like, because we all have evil, we all have good. We are made of good and evil, and we have evil things that we do, and we have good things that we do. And I think staying tapped into the good and seeking, I don't know, just staying spiritually active in whatever way that means. Like for me, I like to do meditations, and I like to do yoga, and I like to work out. And I think the physical and spiritual aspect all go together. And I found that has actually helped me more than reading a book, like a Bible. You know what I'm saying? And I do read books. I read self-help books and stuff like that. But I found that helps more than like going to worship or doing, because it's actual things that I'm doing and setting a good intention on.
Yeah, and you actually have control on your actions way
Yes.
more. I think the biggest thing that I have with religion right now that I don't think it helps people is that you're putting all of your hopes and dreams in the hands of a distant sky, heaven and hell
A mystery.
judge.
Yeah, a mystery. Yeah.
Man, that is not a good way of live life. And I think that's why I couldn't continue like subscribing to a religion or going to church and all that. Like I had like all my friends, all of the people that I was around, everything that I did for work, everything was around that.
Yes.
But once, and I remember I was going to the school that I went to was a Christian college, and I was studying theology. I have a minor in theology, like I was studying the Bible, all of that. And through that study is that when you actually learn theology, which is the study of God, in all the different variations of all the different religions and what each one of them believes, just as an objective, which was interesting in classes, they were not saying this is the only thing that you should believe. Like the interesting thing is that our theology, like the Theology 101 class, gave us a wide context of every single religion and what they believe are.
Okay.
So Buddhism, like we had classes of like, this is what they believe.
Yeah.
Like Calvinism, this is what they believe. Like Baptist churches, this is what they believe. Like everyone.
Yeah.
And then, like you were saying, you could see that all of
The
them,
themes. Yeah.
yeah, they all share like 80%. It's the values and principles are pretty much the same. Some religions believe that there is only one God. Other religions believe that there is multiple gods.
Yeah.
And some religions believe like heaven and hell. Other ones is like nothingness. Other ones is like you go to heaven with like 70 virgin wives. Which that'd be interesting.
Whoa.
But they all are trying to like explain this thing that we just don't know how it works.
Yeah, they're trying to make sense of life, and I think that's what it is. And I think it's like the telephone game too. Like even with the translations of the Bible, things have
Yes.
gotten fucked. Like
Yes.
they've gone through revisions, they've gone through, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
publishing companies, like if you want to get like real with it, like it's been a
Yeah.
bunch of shit over time.
Like we have fake news now that you have the internet. You can take a picture and tweet something and it's instant, and we still get misinterpretation and facts
Yeah.
being misplaced and all of that. And you're going to believe people that wrote some book like 2,000 years ago.
And just say that's the only thing that's real.
Bro, that is, you have to be so like myopic to believe that that is the truth. And with
There's
all
so
the
many truths. There's so many, because my truth is different than your truth. We live completely different lives. You're from a different place. Like you know what I'm, we don't even see the world the same. We're in the same room. We don't even see this room the same. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're only seeing through our lens. And I think people should be okay with that we all have a different lens, as long as we're not hurting people, you know, we're not being judgmental, like bigots, whatever. Like, we're being good, we're cool. But like, people just need to meet people in the middle, I think. And I think religion is used as a way of division as well. And I think it's used as a way of control. I think that's what it really was back in the day. You know, if we want to get down to it, is like, it kept people in line. And the part for me that I still like, because I believe there's duality to everything. So it's like, there's good and bad. I think there's a lot that churches do in religion, like they do to help the community and like outreach. And I think that's really cool. I think mission trips are awesome if they're used in the right way, you know, because like with money, there always comes different problems and weird things that can happen. But I think when your heart is in the right place, and I think if you're setting intention or praying or whatever, you're helping people, dude, that's all you can do in this life is just help other people, because we're all trying to make it. We're all trying to stay alive. Like, it's just so much more simple than people make it so like black and white and so like, I don't know, harsh. And it's like, we're just here. We're just trying to have a good time. We're trying to survive. All of us are literally trying to do the same thing. Just meet people in the middle. I think your truth is just as valid as my truth.
Yeah.
And everyone's truth is just as valid, you know? And people can be okay with that without it being an attack on you just because it's not yours. Let them have their truth. That's cool. Love them anyways. You don't have to agree. There's nobody you're gonna meet, you're gonna agree with everything they do, right? And you're not supposed to. It's like, I don't even agree with everything I do. Like, I fuck up all the time. I'm like, how could I can't even agree with myself. Like, I have so many parts of myself that I hear. Like, we have so many voices, and I don't know, people just need to take it easy. That's my thing. I'm like, dude, we just need to take it easy and be there for people. That's it.
Why do you think that we have that problem? Because I have the same thing. Like, I know exactly what I have to do.
Because we have emotions.
So,
I've been dealing with this, like, I have like OCD and stuff too, so I get intrusive thoughts, and I deal with that on a daily basis. And things that are so fake, and I know, part of me knows they are so fake, feel so real. It's like the devil and just anything. Like, I get jealous issues, I get like physical anxiety where I'm like, I'm gonna die, but I'm like, no, you're not, you're fine. But your heart's beating and, you know, that type of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's weird. It's like when you know what you're supposed to do, but you still, just part of you won't do it. It just won't. And it's like, dude.
Yeah. And the worst is when you have a decision to make.
Yes.
And you're torn. Like, half of you, for me, it's like the way I try to rationalize it and try to think. And I don't think I'm an overthinker, but sometimes with some things, and my brother tells me all the time, yeah, don't worry so much, like, just like, whatever. Like, he's very chill. I'm the one, like, always, like, overthinking things.
Yeah.
You know that if you do this could happen, terrible, or this could happen, is awesome. And then you're, like, kind of in the middle. For me, sometimes I have that where I can see both paths, and, like, I'm trying to reconcile what the best thing is.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to make the right decision. So, like, I don't want to make the wrong decision because I value myself as someone that is very rational and can make really good decisions.
Yeah.
But then I have all my emotions. And I think
tied into it. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm an artist. Like, I love art and beautiful images and like music and emotions. And like, I read a script and I'll cry, and like I watch a movie and I'll feel like emotional with that movie. And like, I'm really easily in tune with my emotions, which as a man is not average. Like, most people don't feel that way, but it fucks you up sometimes in real life. Like, when I can do that for work, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, because I can listen to your song and like feel the same emotions and like come up with ideas and stuff and like go into that.
Yeah.
But then when you're dealing with your own things, like, sometimes I just get mad really easy. Like, I get upset.
Yes.
Or I get really like down. Like, if something happens, like, I can really feel that emotion and I get down. So I'm trying to like control that. And lately, like, I'm controlling my emotions a lot more.
Yeah.
I'm being more calm and centered, and I think it's helping me.
Yes, yes.
But it's also cutting off some of the soft areas of me towards other people. And I don't think it's good or bad. It's just it
Yeah.
is what it is. And also, I think as you grow, maybe you learn how to control those things a little bit better because you know yourself a little bit better.
Yeah.
Uh,
You just learn. You just keep learning because you just keep
yeah,
fucking it up and you're like, fuck,
yeah.
like,
But you're like learning yourself.
yeah, yeah. Well, it's good to know I'm not the only one.
Yeah, I think that that's something that has helped a lot with the with
Yeah.
this podcast and talking to people is that you see how some of the most wonderful, amazing like people that you see from the outside, and you always think, oh, they got their life together, they're doing this, doing that.
They all got demons. They all
Oh,
got
got
them.
some demons, yeah. And
Dude.
usually there's a lot of shit happening that you don't know that is happening for those people.
Yeah.
So, which is interesting because we are always rewarded for showing the good stuff on social media.
Yeah.
And I love social media. I don't think there is much really wrong with it. And I know most people think that it's terrible, you spend too much time on it, blah, 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 blah. But when you look at like the net result, there's a lot of bad, but the good, I think, outweighs.
Yeah.
Like, you and I wouldn't be
Yeah.
sitting here if
No,
it wasn't for
seriously.
like us finding each other on Instagram, like,
Yeah.
and us reaching out. But at the same time, how do you think is a proper way of showing like the dark side of us in that setting where it doesn't feel like you're just pandering for attention and pity?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what the line there is.
I mean, I think just as long as you're being honest and it's like kind of what your intention is, I think. If people are going to think that you're looking for that and you're not, just let them, like people are going to think whatever. But I think if you're coming from a place of honesty and like just to bring awareness to something like, hey, today I've been dealing with a lot of anxiety or today I've been like dealing with a lot of depression, I'll post some stuff like that, like, hey, I've been feeling low, or I just want to send love to whoever's out there. Because it's like, even sometimes I feel empathetic too, where like you can take on others' emotions and it's like I could be feeling something but it's not even me, and I think a lot of us that deal with those kind of things need to hear that, just because you can feel crazy, and like when you're dealing with so many emotions and stuff, and it kind of alienates you, makes you feel alone. And so I think sharing about your experiences helps people feel less alone and less like, oh, I'm not crazy. Like, I'm just going through this time, or I'm just dealing with this today. It's just today. And I get a new fresh start tomorrow, or even like the next hour, just calm yourself and center yourself. I think like posting too, like I'll post like little guided meditations that I do in hopes like if someone needs it, they'll click on it or whatever. But yeah, I think maybe just don't post as like woe is me, but it's like this is what I'm going through. If you're going through this too, we're in this together. Like I got your back, hopefully you have mine. Like we're in this shit together, I don't know if that makes sense, but
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And also, here's my sad playlist.
Yeah, also here, if you want to go cry, listen to this. Let's go listen to Bon Iver.
No, listen to your song, Circles.
Yes,
Let's talk about Circles.
circles,
a little
unreleased
bit.
circles.
Yeah, well, it's gonna be released really soon. So we just did the music video shoot yesterday
Yes.
for it. Thank you so much for trusting us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
That was really fun.
Yeah.
It was really, really fun.
So tell me a little bit about that experience of filming and how does that feel? Is this
was
this is
fun.
not your first music video, no?
No, I haven't done one in like a year or two though. So it was kind of, when y'all came over yesterday, I was nervous. I was telling
Yeah.
them, I was like, y'all, I'm nervous. I haven't done this in a long time. Like, this is crazy. But y'all made me feel super comfortable and it was super fun. And I got to run around in the water even though my feet went numb, but it was still fun. It honestly added to it because it's like, all right, here's some more adrenaline. Like,
Yeah.
But I loved it. The hot tub felt amazing after the freezing water, but I love water and I love swimming, so it was a fun time for me.
Yeah.
I think the hardest part, like the scariest part, was just performing in front of people on the beach. I was like, I was nervous about it at first, but then I was like, okay, let's just cut it out. Like,
Yeah.
we want this to look good. Let's do the best we can,
I think the good thing about that song is that it's very subtle, like the performance.
Yeah.
And with the slow-mo and everything that we were doing, it felt still very intimate.
It's gonna convey a weird emotion. I feel like it's gonna be cool because it's like that sultry, but we're surrounded by beauty at the same time, but we're still like wrapped.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's
Yeah,
gonna be
there's
cool.
this like beautiful melancholy that the song has.
Yeah.
And I think you have that in your personality as well. Like, I can tell that you're very happy, but at the
Yeah.
same time, you do have like a little bit of darkness all around you.
Is it the tattoos? Is that what it is? The green hair,
The
the black?
tattoos have, I don't know. It's like the whole
I
mix.
feel like I can see it in
Especially,
your eyes.
yeah, it's like it's this girl has been through some shit. Like she
Not really though.
knows.
I even look back at pictures when I was little,
Yeah.
and I have that same heaviness that you can see. It's like behind. I think it's the overthinking and
In the mental side of
yeah,
things.
it's like the trying to make sense of everything when nothing makes sense. You know, I learned that at a young age. Just like my thoughts were way too big for my brain. And now I still feel like with my brain being grown, I'm like, I still can't handle all this. There's too many. Like, we've got too many in here. But that's why we create, though. That's why we write songs and
Yes, that's
make
the good
stuff.
thing. Like to me, it is an outlet because when you're doing that, you almost forget. Not almost. When you're creating something, you 100% forget about the world. Like yesterday when we were there on the beach,
It's all, yeah.
like everything else for me was gone, and it was just like the song is playing. Like it's funny because like I can tell myself that I'm running like a script
Yeah.
in my brain of like my brain goes into okay directed mode, and it's just like this is the song, I need this, I need like
Yeah.
I see what I want to see in the final thing, and then I can call out for the little elements that need to happen.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
Oh,
Like it's
yeah.
my favorite thing to do, and it 100% zeroes out everything else, all the problems,
Yeah.
all the other stuff.
You're just
So
present in that moment. And that's like
yes,
the
you
best
are.
part.
Because you
Yeah.
have to be. Like if you're
Yeah.
not, then the thing doesn't work.
Yeah, you're going to fuck it up.
Yeah. So that's kind of my therapy. I have done therapy with like real therapists,
Yeah.
but I think the best therapy for me is like going and creating stuff.
Yeah.
And the catch-22 is that sometimes I end up like overextending myself, and then I have way too many projects, and I'm trying to do way too many things.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that side if you have that problem of like new ideas for new songs and you want to like do this show this way, or like do this thing with the band, or do this thing with like this producer? Like do you
Yeah.
struggle with keeping all of your ideas like alive and get them made?
Yeah, I would say so. Because I perform a lot, so I do cover gigs full time. So it's like I'll go sing on a patio for like 3, 4 hours, and I'll sometimes have I'll have 2 to 6 gigs a week, depending on the week. And so for me, when I'm out just playing and singing, it's hard for me to go home and want to sing more after singing like 20 hours a week or something like that. You know, like I'm still learning this right now, so I really don't have an answer for you. I'm trying to figure out balance in that area of creating and writing all while performing at the same time, because it's weird because it's like you kind of section them off as two different things. But I've been trying to okay, just because I'm busy doesn't mean I need to stop writing. You know, like I can fit it in. Probably on all the times that I'm on Instagram, I could be writing something. So y'all heard it here first. Like, we making a change? No, that's what I always say. But
Well, we need to challenge you for the
yes.
next. This is a little challenge that I'm running
Okay.
with some people, and I call it dark mode.
Okay.
So for the next 30 days, Avery, you have to cut out, if you are ready to take on a challenge.
Okay. What
Are
is
you
it?
ready? Are you taking the challenge?
I gotta hear it.
No, you gotta you gotta be committed before
Okay,
you
I'll
hear
take the
it.
challenge.
Okay, you'll take it. So here's the challenge. For the next 30 days, you have to cut out all distractions. You have to cut out all emotions, and you have to cut out all excuses.
Okay.
And then you have to pick 3 goals that you want to get accomplished by the end of the 30 days.
Okay.
So you need like a personal goal of something that you want to do personally, a career goal, and then a physical goal with like
Okay.
fitness and stuff like that.
Okay.
So that's it.
Shoot. We got that. We got that.
Okay. So you need to tell me later like
Okay.
what your goals are gonna be, and then I'm gonna be bothering you and checking on to see. Okay, you heard it, Hope.
Well, I know my physical one is gonna be to run 30 minutes straight because I got up to 20 last week, so I'm gonna
Okay.
get to. That's my physical. That's
Oh, that's easy. You can do that like in the next week.
an hour. What a week.
Yeah, you can do an hour. You can run for an hour straight. You're already at 20 minutes and you only need 10 more minutes. It's so easy.
Okay, fine. 45
Okay, I'll meet you in the middle.
pull-ups. Yeah. Okay, if I could do like 5 pull-ups, that'd be crazy because they're hard for me.
Oh, you
It's-
should be able to be doing 10 pull-ups in 30 days.
You need to be my trainer. I'm like, with both of y'all? Dude, okay. I'll be thinking of more. I'll be thinking of more for sure. I
But
want to make
those sounds really good goals.
career goals for sure would be to write more songs. I don't have a number, but just in general, just to write more. Do I need like a specific?
A specific number,
Okay.
because then you need to see if you did it or not.
Okay.
So how many songs would be like amazing if you did that?
In 30 days. For me, I'm gonna say like 5.
Okay, 5 it is. That
5?
sounds like a solid number.
Yeah.
That's doable and also substantial.
Yeah.
Like if by the end of the year, think about it. If you do it now, by the end of the year, you're gonna have 5 new songs that you could go in and produce.
It should be every month, huh? At that point, if I get this
Let's,
rolling,
let's do 1 month. I'm gonna take it easy.
make
Let's
an album in 3 months. Oh my God, that'd be crazy.
Let's do 1 month and see how it goes.
We doing it. We doing it.
Okay. Awesome.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Are you ready to record some more?
I am. I am ready.
Yes. So how is it different for you, like this live and recording and all that, from performing like on stage?
Oh, I think it makes it a little bit more tough. It makes it tough and easier because one, you're not in front of a lot of people, but also you're not in front of a lot of people. So like, I think having a bigger crowd sometimes feels a little bit less intimate in that way, where you're like, people are watching you so close. You know what I'm saying? It's like, we're all here, we're all sharing energy together. But it's like when people are right here, it's like, okay, you better not fuck up. Like, you better do good. But it makes it fun because we get to like refine what we're doing and kind of get the best take that we can, which live, it's like, you do what you can. But I don't know, for me, I definitely prefer the live aspect, like just shows. They're like my favorite part of all of the music because I love being on stage with my friends, making fun noises together, like jumping around with people and just having it. Because like in that moment too, like when you're performing live, you have to be in the moment, or like you truly, like you just won't do it. You won't do good. And so it kind of takes you away from everything, like you said, for me. And that's kind of where I feel most free, I think, would be on stage. But yeah, there's a chilled out aspect to recording live stuff because you know you can redo it if you need to, but also it's like you are doing it for the camera, so you better be on. You know what I'm saying? And like that kind of brings some nerves as well. Yeah. But it's the duality, I feel like.
Well, today when we do the session, what I would like for you to do is almost forget about me and the camera.
Yeah.
And we're gonna be in your face with the camera. Like there's no way around it because we need to get the shots. But what I hope is that you could like forget that we're even there, and us trying to be like a fly in the wall and just like see you like do your thing like just for yourself. That's
I'm excited to play with all the guys that I'm playing with because we've never all played together. So that's like, for me, that's the exciting part, and what I don't know, I'm gonna be focusing on them, I think, the most, and just like how we are playing and what we're creating, you know.
Who are you playing with today?
So we have Noel on guitar, and we have Daniel on drums and Anthony on bass. So yeah, it's gonna be a fun time. And Anthony I've been playing with for like 3 or 4 years, and he just moved out here in the past couple months. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. Yeah. It's gonna be real fun.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what the light looks like. This house that we're gonna shoot in is really interesting. So I think we're gonna have minimal lighting. I think just like probably one light for you, and maybe a kicker light from the side to give you a little silhouette, and then blur everything out.
Yeah.
And like, I'm excited to see all the colors and everything. Are you gonna be like with all the tattoos out, or you have different wardrobe? You're gonna do the black thing?
We'll see. I have like a t-shirt or another vest that's a different color, but it's still not completely decided. We're gonna see what it looks like.
What's with you and the vests? Tell me about your wardrobes.
I've been just wearing like tank tops all the time, so I was like, a vest is a way to wear sleeveless that's not a tank top. But and we got lots of pockets, so if you need to put stuff in it, you can. We thrifted this one.
What are you putting in the pockets? The little secret drugs?
Whoa, they don't gotta be secret out here, not in California.
You're right, they don't. So let's talk about that. Rock and drugs go hand in hand. So I don't have any experience with drugs.
Me either.
You neither?
I don't. I only smoke, the ganja, the chill stuff. I don't drink anymore because I can't. I have a bad relationship with it, and it brings out the dark parts of me, so I don't do it. But yeah, I do know that in the past, I would say, I mean, even still now, I'm sure like rock bands are notorious just for like drug use and stuff, but a little different, I would say, because I got hit with figuring out that I can't handle substances pretty young. So I try
Yeah.
to stay clear, and it's
It's
not good
just
for me.
so, is it just alcohol that gets you, like, do you get
Yeah,
upset? Do you get
I just get
angry?
I get dark, I get depressive, and I can get angry, and my mood just flips like completely, and I turn into a person that I'm not. And yeah, we have addiction in my family, like super close in my bloodline, so I try to stay away from
Yeah.
substances because I don't want to. That shit fucks your whole life up, and it's never worth it. Never worth it.
Yeah. I have kind of the same thing with my family, with my mom and my
Yeah.
dad. So I grew up in the church, so like drinking was never like a
Yes.
thing.
You have to take it serious though, because like genetics are real, and
Yeah.
I
I
don't know.
mean, I only had some drinks later, like when I was older,
Yeah.
and I could control it. Uh, when I've only gotten like drunk and like real buzzed one time, with
Wow.
one of my friends was going through something really hard, so I was like, "Hey, I'll go with you and like be with you, and
Yeah.
we'll drink and do whatever." And I found that I'm a happy drunk.
Okay, that's good.
I become very happy and
Yeah.
very like,
Yeah.
I love you, and like you're
Yes.
just a good friend, and like I cannot believe that we're friends, and like that.
Yes.
So it
That's
was so
those are the
good.
good nights. That's like when it was good, I think that's how I would be too, but I think if I was going into drinking and I had something on my mind or something switched while I was,
Mhm.
it would just go bad really fast. And it's like the gamble wasn't worth it for me,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, no,
But
I'm with you 100%. That's why
yeah.
I don't drink. I haven't had a
Yeah.
drink in like
The happy times are really
over a
fun though.
year.
Those are really, really fun. When
Yeah,
you just have a good night with friends and
yeah.
like, yeah.
Now I just do sparkling water,
Yeah. Topo
and
Chico all night.
I'm good. Also, like as you get a bit older, it's like staying up late and like waking up early and all that. Like it
Dude,
messes
yeah.
up your entire rhythm. For you, you're performing late all the time, right?
Yeah.
And then do you have like a set schedule, or is it like free for
No.
all,
It's
like
kind
whatever
of
happens?
Yeah, for me, I mean, I don't have too many like super late night gigs right now, so it's not too bad waking up in the morning, but I've been trying to wake up like 8, 9, 10, depending on the day. Like those are my earliest for me,
Man,
but
that's lunchtime for me.
10 is yeah, I've been doing a morning job lately, so I've been waking up closer to 8:39. But
Nice.
I've always struggled with waking up early. I don't know what it is about me, but I've always used to love to like stay up late when I was younger, but now I need my sleep. I have to have my sleep. That I feel like sleep affects my emotions really bad, and yeah, I don't know if you like it makes you irritable and just
Yeah,
yeah.
100% to me, like I try to sleep as much as I can. Lately I've been waking up really early just on my own. Like
Yeah.
I have a lot of things going on, so like
Yeah.
as soon
Just
as I
got to be
have
ready.
like as soon as I have like some type of light sleep, then my brain kicks in and I'm like, okay, what are we doing today? Like my brain starts like thinking of logistics and like how to
Yeah.
push.
Yeah.
But in a fun way. I mean, it's intense and challenging,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it's really fun because when you look at the potential and
Yes.
like all the things that can come out of what you're going to do and like the things that we're creating.
Yeah.
So my brother and I, we're going through like a really difficult time right now, but at the same time, I feel like it's the beginning of such an amazing thing. Like
Yeah.
when you think about the label and like just that project alone, which is like a third of all the things that we have going on. And I was telling my brother today in the car, like, bro, like this could be so like imagine like
Yeah.
if we keep investing into this, like imagine when we have 100, 200, 300 artists that we have worked with
Dude.
and that we're able to create like music
Oh yeah.
videos that go on for 10, 20
Dude.
years.
Yeah.
Like that is exciting. Like imagine
Yeah.
we are sitting here right
It's
now.
crazy.
Imagine in 10 years where you could be in your career.
Yeah.
If you keep putting in like the good music that you're putting out, if you keep like working on your performances, if you keep
Yes.
collaborating with people and touching people with your music, and like
Yeah.
if we can be part of that, like this is the beginning of a beautiful like story, and like
Yes.
that gets me excited. So
Yes.
then I wake up and I'm like, okay,
Let's
let's go.
go.
Let's go. And this
Yes.
morning I was just like watching the footage from yesterday, and Like it was so pretty, like the light and everything, and that gets me really excited.
Yes.
So like
It's cool that you say that because like I go through periods of excitement and I'm really, really driven. And then I go through periods where I'm tired of pushing. You know what I'm saying? And it gets to where it's like hard. But then somebody like you message me and I'm like, oh, like this is great. Like this is gonna be so much fun. We get to go out to like one of our favorite places and go create shit with people that we don't know. Like we're both taking a gamble on each other, but the opportunity's here, and it's like the shit like this that keeps me excited. So I'm very happy to be here, and I'm really like the stars aligned for this to work because it was like perfect timing for everything.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful for people like you that like are dreamers and that really care about the music, because it's hard to find people that actually really care about it, you know? And I don't know, just meeting like-minded people is really, really cool. So, and I believe in you guys. Y'all got it going on. Like, look at this. But
thank you. Yeah, we definitely have I think we have grown, and we started for the right reasons. Like
Yes.
my brother and I, we started making stuff when we were in Cuba, and there was no hopes of like anything really. It's just like us playing with the cameras and just
Yeah.
being excited about it.
just having fun.
Yeah. And it's very exciting to dream of what could be, dream
Yeah.
of what could happen.
Yeah.
Because the beautiful thing about like the US and like LA is like things can actually happen. Like,
You just gotta do it. Like,
yeah, it's like no one is really holding anyone back.
no.
Like, and that's something that I really want to push, that idea for everyone, especially like if you're young.
Yeah.
No one is doing some crazy conspiracy Illuminati shit to keep everyone out.
Yeah.
Like, if you make good stuff
You can.
and you keep pushing and
Yeah.
working hard and making more good content, good music, good films,
Yeah.
no one can really stop you. Like you can actually,
Yeah.
like we're two kids from Havana, Cuba, and now we're here.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm like some kid from Texas, so I'm like, and I'm in LA with y'all.
yeah,
Like, it's
now
crazy.
you're here. Like,
yeah.
we just shot a film yesterday that is
Yeah.
gonna live for like decades.
Literally.
And it's beautiful.
Literally.
And it's powerful and
Yeah.
has good emotions and music, and like you have to like remind yourself of that.
Yes.
And like you gotta play this shit back like whenever you're feeling down, and like
Yeah.
I'm saying this for me right
Yeah.
now. Like we need to work ourselves up to like
Yeah.
feel all of these good emotions and have it like in the back. Like when you're broke and no one is calling you to perform and you
Yeah.
don't know how you're gonna make rent, you need to remember, hey, like even crazier things can happen
Yeah.
when I'm not even like planning or pushing or expecting it. So like
Yeah.
if I keep pushing, more good things are gonna come.
Literally. If I can
Yeah.
just keep holding on for like one more day, every single day, one more day,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And I think it goes back to what we were talking about too, because the bad emotions can feel so big. We really do need to focus on the good, because the good outweighs the bad every time, even though it's not as loud sometimes. And I think we need to be more appreciative and grateful. And I think having a spirit of gratefulness for me helps me see the world better in a way, and helps me see my life and what I'm doing. And if you really sit back and think, you're like, wow, okay, maybe I don't have a certain number of streams or whatever, but I'm doing the thing that I love, and I'm traveling for it, and I'm meeting beautiful people and like going to places I never would have been able to without it. And it's like, you have to celebrate every little victory, but don't get too caught up in the celebration. You got to keep going, you know? But I would say like, yeah, just being grateful and like realizing where we are is super, super powerful. And I think even like, if you want to, the universe, whatever, I think intention is real. And I think if you put good intention into the world, you get good back. And I think if you put good into the world, and you know what I'm saying, you put love into the world, you get love back. And karma's real, and all those things are real. So it's like, we gotta keep doing find the good fight and keep going. And yeah, man, you're speaking to me, you're speaking for yourself and me at the same time, because it's like perfect timing too, because I've been, like, Circles came out of a low point, and that's recent when I wrote it. So I've been getting out of that, and just kind of the feeling of when it's like you keep going and you keep going and you keep going, but it feels like nothing's moving, and you kind of are like stagnant. But then you think about it, and it's like, okay, you haven't even been doing this that long. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to keep pushing. And the difference in people that get to the next level is just push. If you keep going, that's the only difference, is doing it. And so that's all we can really do every day, is just put our best foot forward and, you know, and find the joy in it too, because I think too, once you make your passion your job, it's weird. It's a mind fuck, and it's like you have to show up every day for it. Whereas it used to be an outlet and something that you can get away from. Now it's like now you need an outlet from the outlet. You know what I'm saying? It's weird. It like becomes a whole thing.
Yeah. Do you have an outlet for the outlet?
I would say being active and like being outside is my thing now. Like just going to the gym or just enjoying nature and yeah, like reading. We like sometimes we'll paint. We haven't painted in a long time, but yeah, I think just hanging out with people, connecting and stuff. But even as I get older too, I'm like even being social is starting to drain me. I'm like, dude, am I becoming a grandma? Like what's going on? What is this? This is 26. This is 26. Oh my
That's
gosh.
funny.
What do you do though to like recharge?
I think the gym helps, and
Oh yeah.
but the gym is not a recharge per se. It's not it's weird. Going to the gym to me feels like I get to do something like relaxing. But then I go there to play like hard music, get hard
Yeah.
and like push and like get mad and get angry
Literally.
and like push the weights.
Yeah.
And like
It's release for sure.
yeah. Yeah, it's release and also is energy creation for me. So I don't remember where I heard it, but this person was saying that we don't need more motivation or like take energy or anything like that. We need to think of ourselves as power plants. We can create the energy. So when you think about it, you have the power to create bright, strong energy
Yeah.
or low, dark energy.
Yeah.
Like you can create it, like just by deciding I'm going to like
Yeah.
so at the gym, like that's my place to go and
Yeah.
like get stronger and think of this mix of taking all my frustration out on myself and then kicking myself in the ass and saying like, you said that you wanted to do X, Y, and Z, so go do it.
Do it. Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing that you're not like focusing on this and this? Stop doing this distraction and stop talking to this type of person. Stop hoping and dreaming that this is going to happen. Just it's a very specific place to see things for what they really are, because that weight is there. You have the power to
It's in your hands. Yeah.
yeah, you can either pick it up and lift it or not. And if you cannot do it, it's two things. Either you're not strong enough physically or you're not strong enough mentally.
Yeah.
Most of the time, it's a combination of both. But that 50% that is a mental thing,
Yeah.
if you can push through it, that carries on to other things in your life.
Dude. Yeah.
So when I'm there, it's that give and take of release, and I'm relaxing because I can stop thinking about all the projects that I have for a while.
Yeah.
But at the same time, is okay, let's get stronger.
Yeah.
Let's fucking go and let's like get shit
Yeah.
happen. And like another weird thing that happens to me is like all the mirrors. When you think about it, you are a representation of who you think you are and how you see yourself. Like in
And who you actually are.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is about the mirrors in the gym is that not always, but every now and then I can look at myself and almost like see myself for who I am, see where I'm lacking, see where I'm strong,
Wow.
and almost talk to myself in a more like dialogue way, mentally, of course. I'm not like
Talking to yourself out
talking once
loud.
I go to the gym. But you get to see yourself
Yeah.
and tell yourself you're either doing great, keep doing that, you're strong, keep doing that, or hey, you're not doing the right thing with this.
Yeah.
You got to stop doing that. And I don't know, for guys, I think that tough conversation, that tough love
Yeah.
of like, what the fuck, like, why are you doing this, why are you
Yeah.
doing that, stop doing that, stop wasting your time with this or that, or like get stronger, or like find a way to make more money, like you came from another country, you can do this. Like that whole thing is like
It just
very,
mirrors, it just puts it in your face at that moment for you. That's crazy because I haven't really experienced that in that setting, but I know exactly what you're talking about because I do it more, I guess, when I'm on my own and like when I'm by myself type thing. But that's really cool because for me, the gym is like, for one, it shows me that I have dedication and that I can do something and I can keep going with it and I can like see it through. Two, it helps me ground myself to the actual reality and to the present. And because a lot of my anxiety has been physical with like before I used to perform, which I still get nervous, but I used to get like almost debilitatingly nervous. Like my heart would pound out of my chest. I would get like lightheaded. I'd be before the show and be like, I don't want to do this. Like this is crazy. And so I noticed getting the adrenaline out of my body has helped me like center and relax because I'm not just like, there's not like 30 zillion things just buzzing around in me, you know what I'm saying? Because when you're stagnant, like you still have the same amount of energy, but it's just sitting there, you know? And so I don't know, it's like you want to crawl out of your skin type feeling. And so the gym takes that away from me and brings me like, all right, we're on Earth, we are back, we are here. And then it also just, I don't know, it gives me a sense of like, you did that shit, you know what I'm saying? You got through a hard workout, you can do it, and it's not immediate gratification like Instagram or like any type of notifications. It's like you're working for something and it's gonna take a while to see the results. And once you see the results, oh my God, it's like, man, we've really been trying hard for this, and things that are worth having take a while. I think it teaches you so much. Like so my fiance and my sister, they got me into the gym, and she like kind of trains me, makes my workouts and stuff, and it's been one of the biggest things. You can even ask her, like one of the biggest shifts in me was because I got active and I wasn't just stagnant and sitting with myself, you know, and it's helped every aspect of my life. Like I originally started doing it to help the performances because I would listen back to videos and be like, oh God, my voice sounds terrible because I can't breathe because I don't have stamina, you know, like, and so I was like, I gotta get running, I gotta do some stuff. And then yeah, once I started, I have an addictive personality, so like if you use it for good, it's really, really good. But if you use it for bad, it's really, really bad. So that's my good thing that I'm using it for. But yeah.
same for me. I have that same addictive personality.
It's a superpower and
It is
a kryptonite, if it depends.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. It's definitely a superpower, and when put in the wrong thing, like it's terrible. So for me, the first thing was video games. That was the first time that it was not good for me.
Yeah,
I was like
distracting.
yeah, not distracting, life altering type shit.
Okay.
Where like we would go in and play video games from like 8 p.m. until like 8 a.m.
How are your eyes okay?
I did not care about my eyes. I was
You're like,
like
I didn't even
16.
realize.
Like we were just playing video games,
Dude.
like obsessed. Like I would run away from classes to go play in the lab. I failed exams because I was like going playing video games.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was so much fun.
I never had the video game thing, but social media has been like the thing for me since,
Really?
since like our generation is kind of the generation that we first, you know, all of us were like, oh, what is
But how
this?
bad is it? How bad is it?
I mean, I would say it used to take over most of my day. I think now I'm more focused on like, how is my content performing or how is my, you know what I'm saying? That kind of
Yeah.
thing. But I think it used to really get into my brain and it would make me compare myself to people a lot. So my self-esteem would be low. It would make me not like actually live in real life because I'd just be on my phone. And it's like, you think because you're getting the adrenaline and the emotions and the dopamine that you're doing something, but like you're not fucking doing anything.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Don't you feel sometimes that you are growing your Instagram because you are like engaging, but you're not really?
Yeah.
That's
It's not.
the biggest trick that they have pulled on us. I think on us like creatives that we use that platform for us to like make things happen.
Promote ourselves, yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes I just feel that I'm doing a good job by going and checking to see who followed or who commented.
And we're not doing anything. We're just
not
looking.
doing anything.
I'm like, if I spent half the time checking my notifications into actually creating,
Yeah. So much would happen. So that's something I've been doing the last few months, and
Yeah.
I've gotten a lot better at it. So like the trick that I do is you go to the little app, to the settings and the notifications, and go to the notification settings of Instagram and get rid of the red marker of like how many messages or whatever you have.
okay.
If you get rid of that, it takes about 3 to 5 days where you're going to catch yourself opening your phone and you want to go to the app because you're like trained
That's what I do,
biologically,
yeah.
you're trained. But when you remove the little red notification of how many messages you have, it doesn't feel so enticing. It's almost like, oh, nothing is happening there.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that you can do is put another app or another thing that would actually help you
Where that one
next
was.
to it, or where
Yeah.
it was, or something like that. So now what I'm doing is, because I'm focusing on my YouTube channel, because the
Yeah.
thing that I realized is like Instagram doesn't make me any money,
No.
and then YouTube has the potential of making me thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
So like I started, and the podcast has helped too. It's like when I open my phone, instead of going to check like a stupid Instagram notification, open your YouTube studio and look at your new comments and like
Yeah.
how the videos are performing. So when I do that, I'm actually like learning, and I'm actually like nurturing a platform that is actually going to make me money.
Yeah.
And then I get into analyzing this video and that video. I get new ideas to like making new videos and things like that.
Yeah.
So that has helped a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly. I've done some of the things. My notifications are completely off, so like I have nothing on the app that tells me it. But then for me, I'm like, oh, it's a mystery box. Like, let's see, and like you get on, And I even took it off my home screen and I put it. It's in the back, but now I just swipe to the back,
oh,
and now I'm like,
that one. When I see people do that, because some
Yeah.
of my friends do that, I'm like, that's worse, because you're gonna do it anyways.
Yeah.
Now it takes you like 3 tabs.
it's like more enticing at that point too, because you're like, oh,
Yeah, but you're wasting, because it's like 1, 2, 3 tap. That's
Yeah.
4 seconds
that you wasted.
that you wasted instead of just the 1 second. I remember,
yeah.
I think it was Big Sean one time. I saw one of his interviews where he said that he was off social media for like a year. He was dealing with a lot of like depression and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So he was off, completely off. And then when he came back on it, he said like, I didn't really miss anything. Like the account kept growing. Everything was kind of the same.
Yeah.
His peers and the people, like the competition, they didn't get any bigger. That it was like,
Yeah.
and it was creating such a big like mental like turmoil
Yeah.
for something that in reality doesn't bring that much like in return.
Yeah. I've
So-
noticed that too when I take breaks, that when I do get back on, it doesn't feel like exciting, but then you just, you repeat the cycle, repeat
yeah.
the circle, and it just
Yeah.
happens again. So I'm like, maybe it's just time for another like month break. But it's harder
Yeah.
for like independent artists who aren't already popping, like we gotta work, and like we
Yeah.
have to be posting shit, and like there's apps where I could schedule posts and stuff, but I just haven't sat down and done it. And I know that would save me like a lot of time, and I'll do it one day. I'm like, whenever my brain has had enough, I do stuff.
Yeah.
And so it takes me a while to just keep you know what I mean? Like shedding it off to like, okay, do it. Like finally do it.
Well,
But-
we got 30-day challenge for you. You have to do dark mode, so you gotta shut off that distraction. So
That's the distraction. Honestly, yeah, that would actually, if I just scheduled my posts, I wouldn't even have to get on. And then, yeah.
And you can get on, like during the challenge, you
Yeah.
can get on. But the moment it starts feeling like you're just wasting time,
Get off.
then you have to get off.
Okay, yeah.
And also another thing that I've been doing now is like I check it early in the morning, do all the responses and everything that has to, like the business things I have to get replied to, and post whatever has to be posted. And then I try to wait until like the end of the day
See how it's doing.
to check it again to see if there's any messages. Because like
Yeah.
there's no denying, like you and I talked first through Instagram, and I
Yeah.
saw your music through there.
There's
first.
value. There's value in
Yeah,
it.
100%.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to be like, oh, delete it from your phone and all of that jazz.
Yeah.
Unless you're dealing with massive anxiety, then do that.
Yeah.
But if it's just normal and you want to improve, like a simple,
Yeah.
like less touch points, it's fine.
Yeah, I just feel like I would definitely get more things done if it wasn't. Because it's like when you're spending 2 hours a day on an app, like I set 2-hour limits.
Wow, that's a lot.
And I
bro.
go over them, and I will ignore them. Like, yeah.
Wow.
So it becomes like, I'm like, dude, the potential in what I'm like doing, like I could probably write 5 songs in a day if I didn't get on my Instagram. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, then we need to take you down to 30 minutes a
30
day
minutes,
for
yes.
the next 30 days. That's going to be part of your challenge. Look at her face. Your face. You had like sad puppy eyes for a second, and then you're like, okay, let's
Okay.
do it.
I'm gonna set the timer to 30.
Let's do it. So
it's
right
all
after we
over there.
finish the podcast and we're done because we have to go shoot, You're
and I'm
gonna
gonna
do
do
it.
it. I'm gonna do it. I promise y'all. Pinky
Yes.
promise. We're
In
doing
front
it.
of me, she's gonna do it. So
Yes.
thank you so much, Avery, for
Thank you for
coming on
having
the show
me.
today. We really enjoyed the time with you, and
Dude.
we're so excited to see what you're gonna be making in the future.
Dude, y'all too. I can't wait to see all the next music videos after
Yeah.
this, and it's gonna be awesome. Thank y'all for having me. It's awesome to meet you guys, and thank y'all for being so welcoming and making me feel comfortable. Because
Of course.
I didn't sweat a lot this time, so we good. We good.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this episode, check out this other one with my friend Evie Irie. She's an amazing artist, and I'm sure you're gonna love it. See you on the next one.